Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Breakfast with Ben. My name is Ben Barber here on 321 Westerly, and I'm so excited because today we are joined by my friend, one of our sponsors, and somebody who has been a fierce advocate of the Westerly community for a very long time and has brought several national sales awards back to our community. Patrick Lynch from Wireless Zone. 224 Post Road
Dunn's Corners
in Dunn's
baby.
Corners. How you doing, man?
Good morning, Ben. Thanks for having me on. I'm living the dream.
Thanks for being here. And yeah, I have that address memorized. I say it on literally every single time that we do an ad read for you guys.
Well, I appreciate it.
Every time we put up the sponsor logos. I don't give the address for everybody, but I make sure that I give it for you.
And that's why you're the best, Ben.
So tell me a little bit about you and Wireless Zone and how you got started and all that stuff.
I got started. I feel like I've told the story a few times since I was at Career Day earlier at Hendricken. So
were you at Career Day today?
I was at Career Day today at my high school up in Warwick. So Hendricken, go Hawks, even when they play Westerly.
I will say that you sort of were talking trash on the side during the game this year.
I was
to me, and I was watching fellow not fellow Westerly alum. Neither one of us are Westerly alums, but fellow Westerly resident Sam Reed. I was watching her on NBC 10 the other night, and they were doing some local sports coverage and the Division I championships. And I noticed Hendricken wasn't in the Final Four.
Oh, well, you know what? Too bad. Hendricken won the ice hockey last night 4 times back-to-back, so it is what it is. So
all right.
Anyways, so, yeah, I've been with Wireless Zone. God, it's going to be 10 years in September. It's been a ride, to say the least. I started working there in September of 2014 as a part-time sales rep. I was going to school. I was attending a real estate class, and I figured what better way to actually meet people than to work with people with their cell phones, since literally everybody had one.
Yeah.
And I had a really good culture and environment when I was up in Putnam, Connecticut. And I did that for a few years. And I absolutely fell in love with just sales and just talking with people. It's what I was good at. They always said I had a face for radio, but I was pretty good at sales as well. So I did that for a few years. And then in 2018, my business partners were like, hey, we want you to go down to Westerly and run the show. And I said, well, I'd love to get back to Rhode Island, but where's Westerly?
All right. Rude. A little bit.
Well,
little rude.
Growing up in Warwick, we would just go down to Narragansett. I never adventured to this part of the state. And I remember the first time I came down here, I just fell in love with all of it.
Well, being a parrot head and somebody who loves the beach, I imagine you would have fallen in love with Westerly when you got here.
Yeah, I mean, how could you go wrong? Right on the beach, lots of Jimmy Buffett, as you mentioned. Go to the Windjammer, go to Patty's. I was 25, 26, however young I was. Yeah, Westerly was a fun place to be when I was just starting out.
So you said you jokingly said that you had a face for radio, but you once upon a time had a little bit of ambition to be on this side of the microphone.
I did.
So what and you went to school you were taking a real estate class. So lots of stuff. What have you just always liked to talk? Like, what's your?
I think I always like to talk, and I would explain why my dad always sometimes told me to shut the hell up on long car rides.
Same.
But no, when I was in high school, I loved music. I loved rock music, and I was back then I was real big into political discourse and stuff like that. And I just thought, I'd love to go on a radio and be like some of the talking heads back then, like Bill O'Reilly. I just felt I'd be pretty good at it. And I even did a little radio show of just hosting like 80s rock music when I was a senior in high school, which was kind of fun.
That is kind of fun. we're sort of testing the waters here this spring with all of our high school interns and stuff.
Mhm.
So maybe we can get some people to we have the 321 radio app and stuff. So we're going to be looking to do some of that stuff with the kids here. Maybe one day they'll be not hosting a professional radio show, but
Guest
being
DJ.
being an owner at a wireless zone and killing it down there. So you've won some national awards.
Yes.
This
So
is tell me about this, because this happened at the end of last year.
the end of last year. So I've only won one national award, not 7, but
You will.
I will eventually.
I said several, I think.
Well,
So
there have been some cool
7.
accolades in my career. No, so that was probably my favorite one. That was the Verizon Elevate contest. Basically, Verizon has like their own way that they think that you should talk to people, and really go through the sales process. But here's the thing, all it was the same way I talked to everybody. And I had to do some video submissions over the summer of 2023. They pulled my submission and said, we know this guy. He's got a loud mouth. We had just had the best Black Friday in the country the year prior. So they kind of knew my name, and like, you're going to go down Orlando and you're going to compete in the finals for it. And it was awesome. They sent us down to Orlando, Florida, and I competed against 10 other top reps in the country. And they were just, I had the guys laughing. Their mom was going to make me cookies. Like, we just had a great experience. And they were like, we got to come up to Westerly and do a training video. I'm like, you guys got to come up to Westerly because that's where the greats are. Like, there's so many great people in Westerly. You got to come witness greatness up here in Westerly.
You have a passion for sales, and you're turning that into, first of all, you and I had an impromptu lunch. I had literally just come from filming with you at Wireless Zone, and we met up at Fresh Cup. We were both there for various reasons, and we sort of ended up sitting having a little bit of lunch together. And these reps came in from a food company, and you just, like, 5 of them sat down at the big long table next to us, and every single one of them, you chatted with them, and they all had a problem that Patrick, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
That they all had a problem, and you had the solution to every single one of them.
Well,
it was one of the most impressive things I've ever seen.
Well, it's like you said, I have a passion for sales, but it's deeper than that. It's just a passion for people and seeing what people do. So those guys came in, they were all like dressed to the nines, real good looking dudes. I don't wear no shirt and tie. I'm a bit of a redneck, but these guys are all dressed up. They got the Rolex and the suit. And I looked at them. I'm like, all right, I'm going to take a guess. And like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I'm going to guess what you do. And I'm like, okay, you're either in real estate, you're lawyers, or you're salesmen. And they're like, well, we hate lawyers, we're salesmen. And before you know it, we just started talking, and we went through the problems, and they ended up coming, doing some phones with us, doing some business with us, and just building relationships. And now we got a direct in for a local food supplier, which was awesome.
Yeah. Are you, I don't know how much you want to talk about this, or go into it, but you're looking to go more, and you have a passion for teaching people sales and for training. So what are your goals and ambitions with that?
So my goal, my mindset is that when I started in my first job, when I started business, however you want to do, back in the boatyard of Seaward Boatworks or back in Kohl's in my first retail job, I went into working with the mindset that if I treat every customer like my father, I won't have any issues. And my father hates people that don't have the answers, that go, oh, no, and just lack customer service skills. It really is a lost art of communication, it feels, in this generation. So my goal is that I feel that we are in the era of the worst salesperson, and because people don't know how to communicate anymore. Technology is great, but it has also hindered us to the point where you go out and people don't know how to talk anymore. So now you have customers that have problems, people have problems, and salespeople who are supposed to be there to help solve those problems from a genuine position of care don't know how to ask the right questions to find those solutions, to be good people. I'm tired of the stereotype of salespeople being slimy used car salesmen. So my goal is to teach people how to actually talk to people, have conversations, build relationships, network, being like, hey, Ben, you're new to the year. You going to the networking event tonight, and be comfortable enough to be those kind of leaders in their local industries and communities.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that that is absolutely true. One of the, and like, this is going to sound like such a just stupid thing to say or like a
Not at
humble
all.
brag or something, but like my, uh, likability, right? The reason that I can sell the Washington County Fair, Musqueamicut Beach, things in Westerly, stuff like that,
Mhm.
right? Is just because I've been here doing this as a genuine person
Mhm.
for 15 years
Yeah.
already. And not always to the same level, but like I just and maybe I'd be up and Patrick, my business partner, the other Patrick, and by the way, it was hilarious when you guys did that Thanksgiving
Patrick
show
show.
together. Yeah. And neither one of you wanted to go by Pat. Um, but it's just like it's about the process, it's about the community, it's about the person, right? It's like treating the other person as if they were your father, right? As if
Yes.
they were family, as if they were a friend of yours, because that's the you know if you're just if you're genuine and you're genuinely who you are and you have something that helps people, right? Like everybody needs a phone,
Yeah.
like you said earlier, right? This is a brand new iPhone 15 from Wireless Zone from Patrick. And this has literally, I'm actually upset. This is true. This is a true story. And I've said this. We were filming with Lathrop Insurance last week. We were filming with Christchurch Westerly. We were filming with DNV Mechanical. I'm literally upset that we have $6,000 and $8,000 cameras that have no use to us anymore
Because your phone's
because
replaced it.
because this is better. And that literally, and thank you for that, because you hooked us up with a great deal, and that's what you did, and everybody needs that. So you have something that's like, you literally can save people money on that. You literally can bundle people's streaming services to make it so that they're not spending as much money.
Yeah.
You literally can help people on home internet. You literally can help people do these things, and you're just being you.
Well, that's what I like. I think you kind of hit it best. And, it wasn't a brag or a humble brag, however you want to call it, because the people that are really good at whatever it is that they do, albeit masons or doctors or neuroscientists or chamber members down at the Ocean Community Chamber, the reason why those people are so good in what they do is because they're passionate about it. And you're very passionate about what you do. You're very passionate about helping small business, which is why I was so excited to do business with you, because you reminded me a lot of my friend Chris. Those are the kinds of people that people buy from people that they like. And, it doesn't really so much matter the banner of whatever the product is that you sell. Finding the solution comes second. Forming the relationship is what's so important. Someone asked me once, why should I come to a store when I can just go online? And the answer is, well, I'm going to be honest with you. Going online probably is a little bit easier. You do it from your home. You don't got to go out and interact with the public. But here's the difference. You come in, you're not just buying a phone from me. We're building a friendship. We're building a relationship, so that when you see me down at Amigos playing lots of Jimmy Buffett on the touch tunes, you're like, that's Patrick. Let me buy him a margarita. Let's have a good time tonight.
Yep.
That's what's so important that I feel people really need to understand in whatever it is that you do.
Yeah. And I have to say, a lot of time I work in technology, right? I am doing all sorts of things on the computer, on the internet every single day. I'm I'm pretty experienced in this. I don't
Pretty
want to say I'm
techy.
an expert, but I'm pretty techie, right? It is not as easy to go online and to switch your phone bill or to upgrade your phone or to it's just not. It's and like it really isn't. There are some things that have ease of access, right? And like paying your bills and stuff
Yep.
is super easy, and downloading the app and doing all of those things, like, but there's a lot of nuances and there's a lot of ways that you can
Go wrong.
save money and bundle things and do all of these things that like it's just something that you don't know what you don't know, and that's why you go see Patrick.
Yeah. That's the other part is you got to be the expert. People
Yeah.
go to place brick and mortar still. I had a guy the other day. He wanted to go out to like Boost Mobile, or his wife wanted to go to Boost Mobile. And he's like, listen, I'd rather pay the $20 more for Verizon and have someone that we can go to and trust and be able to help us when something does go bad. Because there's so many people come to you as an expert and you have to be that expert. You can't be that, oh, I don't know why I can't help you.
Yeah.
And that's what we try to do. That's what we do down at 224 Post Road at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners. We're the experts. We're the doctors.
The only thing that bothers me about you, Patrick.
Oh God, here we go.
And there is one.
There should be a lot.
No, but
someone called me infamous the other day. I never knew I needed to hear something.
There's one thing that bothers me about you, and that is that every time I text you, it's a green bubble. Now, you work in phones, your business is phones, your life is phones. iPhone versus Android debate.
Oh God, here we go.
What is it? What's your opinions?
All right. So you're talking to I love Apple. I think the AirPods are the greatest headphones for the price ever made. I think the iPod Classic with the wheel is just phenomenal. And I think the iPhone was really, really cool. But here's the thing with the iPhone, Ben. It hasn't really changed. Like, yeah, the camera's gotten better. And it's just, Apple tells you got to do it X, Y, and Z. And I like to break things and try different things. And Android's like, hey, you want to play Game Boy games on your phone? I got an emulator. You want to change the camera up and do different features and use it as a webcam and live stream and make it a lot simpler? You can do that on an Android. And yeah, there's ways to do that stuff on iPhone, but it's just so much easier on an Android.
I disagree. I know. I don't disagree. I do not disagree about anything that you just said. It's the ecosystem, right? It's the Apple ecosystem,
It's a good ecosystem
that I am fully in on.
Mhm.
Like, we have the iPads, we have the iPhones, we have the MacBooks, and the ease of use. And like, I know that people say like, well, what about all of the Google stuff that you're using? But you can use that seamlessly on Apple devices. Like, I have no problem using Google Photos, Google Drive, Google Docs.
So hold
Gmail,
on. Do you
all
like
of that
Google
stuff.
Photos a lot?
No.
Why?
I prefer Apple Photos.
Okay. And you 100% know that if you deleted your phone right now, all your stuff would be backed up without a care in the world. Because let me tell you, every Android phone I set up with Google Photos, I can say that.
I mean, yeah, I'm all right.
Okay, you're all right.
I'm all right.
I'll delete my phone right now, Ben. I'll do it right on live.
You know what? I kind of want you to now. Don't do it.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'm nuts. I'll erase it right now, and it will all come back.
That's fair. That's fair. Now, one thing is that I have linked my Google Photos and my Apple Photos.
Oh,
so
I'm not the best of both worlds.
I'm not super worried about it, but but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that I listen. I don't. It is just a classic thing for Apple users to get upset about the green.
It is,
and that's the only, actually, my complaint isn't with Android users. I think that people should be able to use Android all they want. I think that Apple, because it's on Apple, right? It's on Apple. Android is a bunch of different phones. So it's on Apple to make and they're not doing it because it's that thing of, I'm mad at you because you have a green dot, right? But like, come on, Apple. Like, make the group messages work.
So I'm happy you actually brought this up. So they are going to allow it to work now. So iPhone is finally going to get a program called RCS for texting. And I'll put it in very simple terms. You know how when you send a photo or you get a green bubble, you can now change the colors of your bubbles that they're one color, which is great for both parties. You can send a photo or video and it won't be all compressed and distorted like it is now.
Oh, thank God.
I know, it's huge. And the group text will also work a lot better. Now, see, as an iPhone user, here's the one thing that I'll say I wish an Android could do it. And it's the only reason that when I do use an iPhone, I'm usually pretty happy. FaceTime is hands down one of the best apps I've ever used.
Yeah.
It just works.
It does.
It's so convenient. I love stuff that just works.
Is there no FaceTime equivalent?
Well, there is. I mean, my wife hates me because I always call her on like Facebook video messenger and stuff, and you can do Google Duo, but it's not as integrated as well with an iPhone. Everybody who has an iPhone, you can just FaceTime them.
Yep.
If you have an Android, you got to set up Google Duo. So a lot of people don't do that.
Yep.
So
Facebook video messenger is awful.
Why?
Comparatively.
Well, I mean,
no,
I can't compare it to anything because
listen,
I'll
complain a little bit.
Okay.
I'll complain a little bit. My girlfriend exclusively, like, she'll get mad when we text too much. Like, if I send her text messages, which I have to for larger files of videos and whatever, right? If I like make a video and I'm like, hey, check out this commercial that I just did with Patrick at Wireless Zone, and I text it to her, I have to text it to her. I can't, like, because it's too large of a file. I can't send it over Facebook Messenger. But she just prefers Facebook Messenger to texting.
I get it. I'm the same way.
And I'm like, okay, but then she's the only person that I really Facebook message constantly. So I'm always going back and forth between the two. And she will occasionally, usually we FaceTime because she has an iPhone and a MacBook and an iPad. But so we'll FaceTime and it's great. But occasionally she'll Facebook Messenger call me.
Ooh.
And it is always worse. It is worse quality. It is more clunky. It is worse all around.
So here's the thing, because I understand using Facebook Messenger exclusively. And to anyone who's ever texted me and I haven't gotten back to you right away, this is why you actually are getting the insight. So Facebook Messenger bubbles you'll get the text on Facebook and it's just a bubble now on your main screen. So like, I know that, oh, Rachel messaged me, I need to respond to her because it's right on my phone in a bubble. Text messaging doesn't do that. So for me, it's just more convenient. Plus, because some of my friends have iPhones, they're not as elitist as most Apple users. We can do everything through a Facebook Messenger group chat, and it's just easier.
There are some friends of mine that have Android that I do Facebook message with instead. You should be one of them. You'll be one of them.
I probably should be. We'd probably talk more because it's right in my face, so I don't forget to respond.
Yeah.
But I will say, the one that is unacceptable for any messaging based service to just use exclusively is Instagram messages. Hate it.
Oh, because you also, like, there's no notification.
There's no notifications. You can't attach large files. Half the time, you don't even know if you get it. Instagram is terrible. Yeah. Even though it's owned by Facebook.
and like, if you're using it for business, right, you'll get those on your Facebook Messenger app, but you won't get even if you connect your account, you won't get your Instagram messages through. It's very weird.
The other thing too, I mean, since we're talking about just business and sales, and now that we're talking about Facebook, is I think what makes Facebook Messenger, especially for me, so appealing is that I can work with people.
I just got a Facebook message,
and it's right there. Is that with Facebook, once you form a relationship with somebody, you add them, you're top of mind.
Yeah. And
because of that, it's a lot easier, at least in my experience, to be able to connect with my clients and people that that I want to get to know through Facebook. I have some customers that, maybe we didn't hit it off as well in the store as I would have hoped, but we connected on Facebook and now they know what I'm all about. I know what they're all about. And we got a lot of interests.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's really good about Facebook.
It is. It is very good about Facebook. And that's why we put everything from 321 Westerly out on social, right? So that's why we're all over Facebook. We're all over Instagram. It's not hidden away on a website or anything. Like, it's just out there where people are. And it's a great sales tool. And that's in coming from marketing, right? Like, that's a frustrating thing when small business owners are like, you have conversations with small business owners and you're talking to them about interests and about like news and whatever, right?
Yep.
And they're like, oh, social media is so powerful. It is killing democracy. It is ruining the discourse. It is stealing our elections. It is corrupting our children. It's doing all of these horrible things. Okay, Do you want to use that to sell some more of your stuff for your business? It can't do that. What do you mean it can't do that?
What do you mean it can't do
What
that?
all of these things that you're seeing that are making you mad, you can replace those things with good content where you're
Right.
helping people and talking about it and doing whatever. A lot of the algorithms, Facebook is a little bit different because it's still more on the social graph than the interest graph that TikTok popularized and everybody's been going to. But like, if you hate your algorithm, you're responsible for
You're the one
that.
interacting with the bad stuff that you hate.
Now it is true that like if you're, and I'm not taking a political side here either way, right? But like if you hate the Democrats and you respond to that, they're going to push more stuff that's going to make you mad because you're going to interact more. And if you can't stand Republicans and you interact with that and you fight with people, it's going to feed you more stuff that you don't like so that you interact with that. If you don't interact with any of it and you look up stuff on, Civil War reenactments.
Oh, it's fantastic.
That's what you're gonna get. Like if you just look up Jimmy Buffett content, you're gonna get a bunch of Jimmy Buffett. You look up cooking tutorials, that's what you're gonna get.
Right.
You're responsible for your own algorithm.
And that's what's so good about it. And at the same time, because I get it, there's a lot of negativity in the world, but I'll be that guy for a minute. 4 years ago, I was very actively politically charged on social media. Like really bad. And when I just stopped, I got to stop. And stopping that, I switched my page to more so just be like, you're going to follow me. You're going to follow my sales. You're going to follow my hobbies. You're going to follow the country music festivals, all the stuff that I do that's positive. And seeing the shift in the likes and the interactions, but like you said, the stuff that I get on my Facebook now, it's not all negative. I'm big into like cassettes, dude. Some guy just sold me like $50 worth of cassettes that have been sitting in his basement because he's like, I didn't know you were into this. I'm like, I'm big into it. Bring it on in.
I wanted to ask you about the cassettes because I've been seeing you like going for a run and you're putting in the cassette and I'm like, what is wrong? What year do you live in?
1987. I have an 87 Corvette. I think technology peaked in the 80s. And yeah, Back to the Future, Top Gun, Indiana Jones, my favorite movies. Literally, the only movie that I need from the 90s is Jurassic Park. I could live in the 80s all day long.
You know why people say that 1987 is the best year in the history of the world, right?
Why, you were born then?
That's right.
Of course. I assume that. I mean, I'd say 92 is great, but Jurassic Park didn't come out till 93. But the cassettes.
92 is all right.
You guys got to remember, I am surrounded by technology every day of every hour for the most part. And I'm just going to be honest. I just want to decompress. I don't want to be connected to the outside world.
Yeah.
And I still have a classic iPod, but there's something about, I love the fact that you just have this machine in your hand that can just pop the music in and you hit play and it just works.
I get it.
It's something about having physical media,
Yeah, I love it. I recently, speaking about, wanting to decompress and like watch old stuff, like I've been watching Golden Girls.
Great show.
With my girlfriend. Hilarious.
Golden Girls, Green Acres.
Yeah.
That's the good stuff.
Yeah. By the way, Golden Girls like has more innuendos per second than Sex and the City ever did, I think. Like it may not be as raunchy, but it is as inappropriate. Like that's
what makes it so good.
It's hilarious. I love it as a kid. And my girlfriend loves it and wants to watch like Frasier and like old Disney movies and stuff. And I'm like, I never had a childhood. Sure, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But like the disconnecting and just enjoying like stuff.
Yeah.
Just enjoying like that sort of thing. And I love listening to like 70s music.
Yeah.
And, I really don't watch live TV anymore at all. I don't really listen to I don't watch the news very much. Like I know everything that's happening.
Yeah.
And most of it's not great, but like that's not what my focus is on in my life.
I think it really resonated for me when I went to Hawaii last year is that I lived on my phone and I turned my email notifications off. And for the 2.5 weeks I was in Hawaii, it was like wow, I'm actually genuinely happy again. And yes, being in Hawaii definitely helped, but also not the constant just ding, 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 ding. So when I got back, I made it a point not to be on my phone when I wasn't working or to block time out. And then I just ended up buying a Sony Sports Walkman. I learned how to fix it. And before I knew it, I was like, oh, I'll get like 10 cassettes, some Bon Jovi, some Motley Crue. And now I have 4 cases, Ben. I have 100 cassettes. I need help. I think it's an addiction.
What is your significant other, fiance, wife, girlfriend?
Fiance.
What does your fiance think about this?
Well, it's funny you mention it because I just brought it up to her the other day and she's like, I guess it's no different than my books. So I got the approval. Approval. So I'm good.
There you go.
But I literally can't think of any other music I need to buy on cassette. I've got every Jimmy Buffett album. I have all the stuff from the 80s that I like. And I just bought Rick Ashley's Whenever You Need Somebody. So now I Can Never Give You Up on my Walkman. And I'm good with that, man.
I love it.
I'm living the dream now.
I love it. And what I also love is that you have the ability to like trade in and have the most up-to-date phones. And I know that you have like the nicest Android that you possibly could right now.
Yeah.
I mean, or one of them at least.
If I could use a flip phone, I would.
And yet, yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, all right.
I love it.
Let's talk for a second about the Chamber of Commerce, because you are always at the business after hours. You really get after it. I know Maria is one of your best friends down there at the Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
You're always supporting that stuff. And you love the small business community here in Westerly. What made you want to get so involved?
So it's how that relationship really started was when I came down to Westerly. I didn't know anybody. The first person I met was Chris. He came and introduced himself into the store, and just kind of like how I did with you, he was like, there's a business after hours tonight. You want to come? And he took me to the business after hours. I think it was at Mia's, because it was June. It was like Mia's down on Atlantic across from Sandy Shore. And I just started talking to people, and I forget how it really started, but it was just, I loved being around people that were like-minded. I liked being around success. I liked being around entrepreneurship. And I figured if I'm going to start to know anybody, I got to know the people that are going to be able to help me the most. And I met Maria and Lisa. And from there, I think going back to my Hendricken background of just like community and volunteerism, that kind of correlated a lot with our core values that we have, both myself and as Wireless Owners Organization. And honestly, it just kind of happened. They became some of my best friends, and they were always there for me through everything. And now I can't remember how it all started, but I do know that it was all good. It was really positive.
That's awesome.
And now Maria texts me at 10 o'clock at night saying, I think there's a squirrel in the chamber. Can you come get it? And my first question is, why are you still there? 2, I guess I'll come get the squirrel out of the attic. So it's an interesting relationship, but I absolutely love how much they put out to make Westerly a great place to be and do business.
Absolutely. Because
let's be honest, if it wasn't for them, this town would be a ghost town for 8 months out of the year. It is what it is. And I don't.
Did you, now your fiance?
Yep.
Did you get engaged at the lobster trap tree?
Ben, that's a sensitive topic. No, I did not get engaged at the lobster trap tree. They tried to get me engaged at the lobster trap tree, and to which is the only time I think I've ever told Maria and Lisa, no, I'm not getting engaged at the lobster trap tree. I'm going to Hawaii, and I'm going to do it on a boat.
You realize that you have now transferred that responsibility to me.
And have you done it yet?
No, and I need to stay away from the lobster trap tree. I think
I need to reach out to your girl and have her put some pressure on you.
She's not going to do that.
Hey, man, I don't know.
It's the other way around.
You should do it at the lobster trap tree. I will. Starry Nights.
I will. Maybe
the duck. We got a maybe, everybody. What about the duck race?
No.
Why?
First of all, the duck race is in like 3 weeks.
Exactly. No time like the present.
No. staying so far away from all. I'll go to the chamber events, but Jackie has to stay home.
Yeah.
That's not. I'm not. I'm not going anywhere near Maria. She'll just be like, "Are you doing it tonight?" I'm like, "Stop it."
God, it would be tough.
Yeah. But they're a lot of fun, and also, I mean, there's if you were gonna do it at a chamber event, there's 9,000 of them to choose from.
You know,
So
the Sunday fun days, Starry nights, so many good ones.
I want to see people get engaged at Sunday Fun Day. I'm sure they would
on those cornhole boards. Have you seen the cornhole boards?
Yeah.
They're so good. That was such a great surprise when they did those. They're like, "You've been a great sponsor. We got you something," and oh my god, they're so American. I need them on 4th of July. I can't wait. I love them so much. Everyone who plays cornhole at those events is going to be like, is this Verizon or am I just like being drafted into like 1950s Americana? And I'm okay with either.
All right. Any specials, anything that you want to promote at Wireless Zone right now?
So real big for a lot of the surrounding areas. So Westerly, Stonington, Pawcatuck, North Stonington, we all just began to get banners lighting up for what's called 5G home internet, which is really cool. So I'll give you the real short abridged version of this. If you live in Connecticut, there's no Verizon Fios. You have Xfinity or BreezeLine or Comcast. Now, if you have Verizon, your address qualifies. A lot of addresses are qualifying more and more by the day. You can do home internet through Verizon Wireless on the same bill as your cell phone bill for as low as $45. It's awesome. It is awesome. My mom up in Danielson, they qualify for it. We're going to get them set up. My buddy has it, and it's super cool. Plus all the streaming services that you can now incorporate and save. You know, most people that I've set up for Netflix are paying like $26 for Netflix.
Yeah.
You can get it through us for $15 with HBO Max.
Yeah.
Just save $120 a year for doing nothing. Have it on one bill. Actually know where it gets billed to. It's wild.
I love it. I'm excited. So, okay. So is Verizon Wireless home internet different than Fios home internet?
Yes. So Verizon Fios, it's all Verizon.
Yeah.
So Fios is fiber optic. It's hardline.
Yep.
Verizon Wireless is, it's wireless home internet. It is literally a box yay high that you can put anywhere in the house. It emits a Wi-Fi signal. The speeds are excellent. They're equivalent to the Verizon 300 megabyte internet speeds. So for the average household that just needs internet for everyday stuff, streaming, video gaming, it's perfect.
They're equivalent to the 300 megabits?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys, get Verizon Wireless internet. Now, here's my question.
Yep.
Can you hardline into that box?
Yes, you can.
Because that's my next question for me personally, because with the streaming stuff that we do, especially like this is fine on wireless, right?
Mm-hmm.
But on Wi-Fi, but for like when we do stuff with the church or the Nick or Watch Hill Chapel or something, we're hardlined into that because I'm decoding NDI signals and SDI signals and all of this crazy stuff. That's really, I mean, we talked about being tech nerds earlier, like hardcore stuff, right? Like I have a bunch of videos coming in through like back ports and the modem and all of that stuff. But 300 megabits per second is enough for me to do what I need with all of the stuff that we have. I have 1 gig home internet for Fios.
Yep.
But like 300 megabits per second is enough for me to do what I need to do. I guarantee you at home that it's enough for you to do what you do.
The amount of times people come in saying, "Oh, I want gigabyte," because I'm like, no, I'm like, I make more selling you gigabit.
Yeah,
you don't need it.
Yeah,
just get it. So Fios, if you have fiber optic and you have Verizon Wireless and you're on the right plan, and we can do an analysis for you guys. If you need hardline internet for whatever reason, if 5G wireless isn't available yet, you can do home internet for $25 for 300 megabytes. As long as you have Verizon Wireless, it's phenomenal. It's what I have set up in my house. It works great. I love it. And people come in and they're like, "Thanks, Pat, for not upselling me." I'm like, "You're welcome."
And the reason why, number one, you're just a good guy, so you're not upselling people. Number two,
there's not a need.
They're gonna need there's no need to do that.
Yeah.
And then everybody's going to need a new phone in a couple years. Everybody's going to need a new plan for something. Everybody's going to need that stuff. You don't need to make short money on upselling people on things that they don't need. Like, you just be good to the people and they'll be good to you.
You just do. And that's the thing. Sometimes people do feel like you're upselling them when you show them like some of the new accessories, like all the new iPhones, which is something I actually took from iPhone, is the MagSafe stuff. You can literally buy MagSafe power packs that stick to the back of the phone. Why would I ever use that? Well, last night I went up to Boston, battery was low. I ran into a couple of people that needed one. I was like, here, let me just stick this on the back of your phone. It's like, oh, that's awesome. So when you can like find cool stuff like that, it solves needs. But if you don't need it, you can't find a solution, don't just sell it to make a quick buck. That's just shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
Not good customer service.
That being said, we got to talk because I'm going to need some new home internet soon.
Oh, so, no worries.
Yeah. No. That's all good. Okay. So I'm excited about it. Anyway, what else you got? Anything else you want to say to the camera before we go?
I mean, we got some great trade-in deals right now. If you already are a Verizon Fios customer and you don't have Verizon Wireless for whatever reason, we are doing a crazy initiative where you get up to $10 off per line on top of a $10 discount per line for having auto pay set up. That also stacks with if you're military, first responder, teacher, nurse, first responder, anything like that. So right now we are able to set up a lot of customers that are new to Verizon Wireless for exceptionally low prices. And for those of you who have Verizon Wireless and want to feel the love too, we also offer all of those discounts on top of it. If you do sign up for Verizon Fios, you get it for that low price of $25. So we have the same great offers for all of our customers, regardless whether they're with us loyally for 20 years or just starting out. And that's what we do down at the Wireless Zone at 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners, next to Evie's and Duncan.
Awesome. Patrick, thank you so much for being here. Always fun time, and please come on more because this is just fun and we can talk about other things, and we'll do some fun stuff, not just a grill session.
That'll be fun. I don't mind being grilled, but I'd like to talk some fun. Maybe I'll bring my Walkman, listen to some of the hits of the 70s.
There you go.
I got some good stuff.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you guys so much for watching. We want to thank all of our sponsors. Let me grab this slide and put it up here. We want to thank Roof Right Roofing, Lathrop Insurance, Wireless Zone at 224 Post Road in Dunn's Corners, Valenti Family of Dealerships, Remy's Cycle, The Thirsty Beaver in Dunn's Corners, Rios Barbershop, Ed French & Son Paving, Kiefer's Martial Arts, D&V Mechanical, and John Fazaro at Coldwell Banker Coastal Homes. And guys, the sports season is heating up. We are going to be back starting next week with just an absolute ton of games. If you thought that the basketball season had a lot of games, there are nearly 50 home games for this spring that we'll be bringing you live here on 321 Westerly. It is a lot. I'm very intimidated by how many baseball, softball, boys volleyball, boys and girls lacrosse games that we'll be bringing you, but we're going to be doing our best to bring you every single one of them. And we have multiple teams. Now we can't do all of them live because that we would just need to triple that amount of sponsors to do all of them live with the technology costs. But when there are double headers and there are 9 of them, when there are 2 games happening at the same time, we will be recording one of them and then replaying it the next morning with the live commentary. So all of the games will be covered this year, barring any emergencies. And we're very excited about that, but I'm overwhelmed.
It sounds like you're overwhelmed, Ben. I don't envy you, brother.
But I'm excited. We have a great team, and I want to thank everybody and thank all of our sponsors. So that's it for us. We will see you soon for Patrick Lynch at Wireless Zone 224 Post Road in Dunn's Corners. I'm Ben, and bye for now.
Adios.